Now, I glanced at something that I think is gonna it kind of popped out to me. Hang on, it's July 3rd. Guys, if he's a creative consultant, it says July 3rd. Whatever happened to him, or her, apparently, they probably deserved it. Okay? It's July 3rd, and I no longer work for Wizards of the Coast. I no longer work on D&D, the little that I did. Well, at least he's honest. Or she. This is going to be a long thread and might last for quite a while, so bear with me. I took the job for 2 reasons. The first was for the dream. To escape poverty doing what I love, writing and making games. The second was to make D&D welcoming to the millions who are scorned by it. Who is scorned by D&D? Okay, yeah, let's keep going. A lot of people had hope for D&D that they carried with me. While some people were upset to see me work for a corporation that overshadows indie, others hoped that I would be able to make real change. I tried, I failed, and I lost a lot. Liking a tweet or post, retweeting, or even following people who speak ill of Wizards of the Coast, or WotC, can lose you your job in an instant. That's why you never see it happen. At Zbig, whoever that is 100% correct. It's a silencing tool. I can say more now. Kindness doesn't replace respect. Working within your comfort zone doesn't support change. Most people in that group were not ready for me to be there, a non-binary black person who would actually critique their problems. I don't know what they expected. I worked hard for a very long time. I got a lot of smiles and vocal support, but it was always followed by inaction and being ignored. My coworkers were frustrated for me, and still are now. Wait. I confided in them often, cried on shoulders on a few occasions. So in one paragraph he says that they're not ready for him to be there, and in the other one he says that they're all there for him. Okay, so we'll keep going. I realized at one point that leadership had given me 2 assignments over about 5 months. I was mostly me asking project leads for work, searching out opportunities. Leadership didn't really care about me or my growth. I had to. I had to care about my own growth. Okay, that's fair. Fine. But guy, if you're getting paid to do nothing, then sit there and do nothing, man. Okay? Like, it's fine. You have a... whatever. I firmly believe that I was a diversity hire. There was no expectation for me to do much of anything. I probably disrupted them by being vocal and following up. It didn't matter if I was supported by seniors and... It didn't matter if I was supported by seniors and positive and being and acting positive. Okay. I think genuine people proposed me as an option and it was accepted because it would look like a radical positive change. It would help quiet vocal outrage, and because I had to stay silent, it was a safe bet. I started to lose. Let's keep going. Yeah, I'm losing brain cells. Me too. Me too. I started to lose all of my confidence. I started to lose trust in myself. After finding out that I wasn't getting an extension or FTE, full-time employment, I resolved to just finish things out and take care of myself, to stop fighting and to just survive quietly. But it just kept getting worse. They would talk about how they're going to start working on treating staff better, retaining contractors, actually answering questions. How much they were invested in diversity and change, even though they hired 2 cis white dudes into 2 big leadership positions during this. One of whom claimed that he doesn't know what he's doing. No shit. And everyone here, maybe they just hire the best for the job again. Oh boy. I can find you some good copy pastas instead. Yeah, I think this is one. Okay. So the guy actually shows, or her, I don't know based on this what Orion D. Black. Is this a fucking troll, dude? I can't fucking tell. I can tell you outright this person was probably not good at their job. Okay, they probably weren't good at their job. Now, I don't know exactly what kind of consultant they were, but a consultant is there to be consulted, not to be an activist. Okay, a consultant is more like, hey, are we doing something there? Are we doing like if you're a consultant, you're probably there literally because of your pedigree, which your pedigree is you're a cis black individual. Sorry, not a cis. You're a non-binary black individual who's probably there. Now I know Wizards of the Coast has cultural they have culturally sensitive hires there, like other like they've openly stated this. I forget what the actual job title is, but they have people there to tell them, hey, quit doing that, right? Like to basically like Spelljammer with the fucking Hadozi monkey people. Like they had to hire people on to tell them that's probably dumb and racist. Don't do that, right? So this guy or her, like they were brought on and described their job position. They're probably the exact position Wizards has openly stated that they've hired on for this exact reason. Wanted to do more, and he or she overstepped their bounds because they weren't hired on for that thing. Is what I'm getting from this. But they're not very self-aware to understand that they were brought in for a certain job, and because that job wasn't needed, because Wizards barely pumps out any content, they were getting paid free money to do nothing, and that's fine. And they have a good, I mean, they had at one point probably a good book of references to bring to whatever company they move forward to next, with literally no work having to have been done. But instead, they decided to squander it and post on social media that Wizards is bad, don't work for them. And threw away what was... I mean, I've done the same. I've thrown away my entire career, basically, at this point, right? But fucking, man, they had a pretty good launching pad. Yeah, they decided to crash right through it instead. And shoot themselves in the fucking foot. Alright, so they would talk about how they're gonna... Yeah, okay, we got it. I found out that some of my work was stolen, which destroyed me. Of course it was. Because you tried to provide them with, you're on the clock and you give them material as you're on contract and you're in their building and you give them material. At that point, it's no longer stealing. Okay, you gave them the material and you were actively a contractor for Wizards. So of course you kept on trying to step too far past your job title. You gave them shit and they used it. Of course they used it. Like, they didn't steal shit from you, dude. It lined up with a project they were going to do, and I had sent it in to someone in leadership months ago. The project was announced, and this person who contributed forgot that we had a meeting where I gave them my ideas, and then a follow-up document the day after. I knew nothing was going to be done about it. Someone else told me the person said sorry that they forgot. That's it. Okay, dude, listen. If you're working for someone, especially in a corporate environment, these are the kind of people that I hated working with, okay? I've worked in this environment before, and then I promptly left, okay? If you do work, who in the actual fuck cares who contributed that work? Okay? Who actually cares? It's fine if you write material, if you implement a new rule or policy, if you basically do your job, which this person was definitely, doing more than their job as a consultant, clearly. It doesn't matter if you are given the attribution to it or not, because you're working for that company. That work is ultimately the company's work, not your personal work. Okay, you didn't submit that to them as a volunteer. I mean, you kind of did because you were trying to do more than your actual job title, but you're still an employee of that company. And what do you want, right? Do you want your fucking name slapped on all over it? It also probably doesn't apply if you're being paid to make it. I mean, exactly. But I mean, even this person, it's kind of a gray area because this person was still working for the company, but it wasn't their job to do these things, but they did it anyway. And why wouldn't the company just take the free work because the person's an idiot and didn't hold on to it like they were supposed to, right? But at this point, like, you can't say if you work for a company and you give them something and they don't credit you for it, why would you get mad? You're working for the company. It's the company's property at that point because you're working for the company. Gray or not, you're still working for the company, right? Like, that's, oh, great. So a guy fucking, example, like a guy, we delivered some, I don't know, man, like a random example. We delivered some pizzas. Well, who delivered the pizzas? DoorDash. But who delivered the pizzas? DoorDash. No, it was the name of the person who delivered it. Who cares? This guy rolled a 7 in it. True. Yeah, but at the end of the day, right? Like who cares who delivered the pizzas, man? The point is DoorDash did it. Point of Wizards wrote the thing, not this guy, okay? Like, who cares? It's not his property anymore. He fucking gave it to him, man. It is, you can't go back later and be like, wait, that's mine. You gave them ideas, man. You gave them ideas. Your name is going to be slapped on the fucking thing when they present it, man. This is not how this shit works. Okay, and I worked with plenty of people that wanted this kind of shit. They wanted their name on things. They wanted to, you know, raise their social standing, or not their professional standing within their company or some shit, man. Like, I get it, he's hungry, okay? Clearly he or she is hungry. But these are the most annoying fucking people to work with, for, or under, or above, even, right? Like, you have to tell them, just do your fucking job, okay? Just do your fucking job. That's it. I was really losing my ability to do much of anything. I have depression and anxiety. I keep going. I have depression and anxiety and ADHD, all of which I manage pretty well. No, you don't. No. But those parts of me were under the pressure of being ignored, disrespected, forgotten, and not being able to say a word to the world. I'm pretty sure this is the loudest motherfucker in the office, and they needed to get gone. And they probably said a bunch of shit and flew off the handle every fucking day about some nonsensical bullshit. And management basically had to ignore them, like they promptly did, because a lot of it was just distracting to the workplace. I guarantee this individual was very distracting to the workplace. A lot of what they said and did, and the way they conducted themselves, was probably a distraction. In the sense that they weren't even focusing on the job or the task of the office, but rather just their own personal agenda. And they got kicked out. Or they stepped down. I think they said they stepped down because they weren't going to get a contract extension or something like that, right? But this individual is not again, this guy, the guy who made this video, okay, I agree with a lot of their points, but I think a lot of what they've presented to us is intellectually dishonest when you grind down to a fine point the contributors to his main arguments. This person is not a credible source for your, you know, typical employment at Wizards of the Coast, or WotC as he calls it. This person is unhinged, and I mean, they probably were. I mean, let's be honest here, they probably were, especially after you get this entire, you know, dump of lore. They probably were a diversity hire, and their main credential was, I have problems, right? We talked about this the other day. Their main credential was, I have problems. Well, are you a good writer? Clearly not, based on this. But I have problems, hire me. And they did. And what a mistake. Then as social unrest continued to BLM, the D&D team comes out with their statement. It was like a slap in the face. How much they care about people of color, how much changing things that I and others had been pushing for months, if not longer, was just going to happen now. It took weeks of protesting across the... Yeah, you know what, guys? I'm not gonna go back and read. I'm not reading. I'm done with that. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and find that anymore. Okay, man. We got the gist. Okay, that individual is unhinged. We can keep going.